evening and welcome to NewsHour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas On our first debate today, a district court in Varanasi has opened the doors of renewed hope for Hindu petitioners in the Gyanvapi dispute by allowing a survey of the entire mosque premises, except the sealed area of the Wazukhana. The survey will be conducted by the Archaeological Survey of India, who've been given time till the 4th of August to submit its report on how they plan to proceed with this exercise.
आज उस प्रार्थना पत्र को ऑनरेबल डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट वाराणसी ने स्वीकार कर लिया है और कोर्ट ने यही कहा है कि वजू टैंक के एरिया को छोड़ के बाकी जितना पूरा परिसर है उसकी एएसआई द्वारा जांच कराई जाए। देखिए, अब ये एक बहुत ही टेक्निकल सर्वे होने वाला है जिसमें पार्टिकल्स लिए जाएंगे, ग्राउंड पेनिट्रेटिंग रेडार लगेगा, बहुत सारी मॉडर्न टेक्निक्स का इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा, जियोलॉजिस्ट आएंगे, अलग अलग साइंटिस्ट आएंगे एएसआई की परिधि में। तो ये अब एएसआई को डिसाइड करना उतना कितना समय लगेगा। तो मुझे ऐसा अनुमान है, ये सिर्फ मेरा अनुमान है कि 3 से 6 महीने के अंदर ये सर्वे की एक्सरसाइज कंप्लीट हो।
Spelling out the contours of the survey, the court has said that it will be conducted between 8 a.m. and 12 noon and that it must be ensured that no damage to any structure in the mosque complex takes place, which had been one of the apprehensions of the Muslim side. Now they're going to appeal against the verdict, is what they say.
और 4 अगस्त तक रिपोर्ट देने के लिए कहा है। अब वो नकल लेने के बाद ऑर्डर का अवलोकन करने के बाद आगे की रणनीति तय की जाएगी। नहीं, आज तो खाली ऑर्डर की डेट थी और ऑर्डर हुआ है और कुछ नहीं हुआ। अब अभी ऑपरेटिव पोर्शन जिला जज साहब ने सुनाया है पढ़ के, अब ऑर्डर की पूरी कॉपी मिले कि इस ऑर्डर को एप्लीकेशन को स्वीकार करने के लिए कौन सा रीज़न उन्होंने कैसे इस नतीजे पर पहुँचे, जब अवलोकन किया जाएगा तब बताया जा सकेगा।
Remember, the ASI survey had become the basis on which the Ayodhya Ram Mandir debate was settled. The ASI report had confirmed the proof of existence of a temple at the Babri site and found over 50 pillars, 263 terracotta sculptures to prove the Hindu temple's existence. The big question now is, will this be the first step towards the Hindu side reclaiming stake on rights to worship? Will ASI survey conclusively settle the Gyanvapi-kashi Vishwanath tussle? Can the ASI survey, like in the Ram Mandir case, be the deciding factor to end a decades-old conflict?
देखिए, एसआई को किया है तो एसआई ने ही राम जन्मभूमि के खुदाई करके और प्रमाणित किया था कि यहाँ मंदिर था और मंदिर तोड़ करके मस्जिद बनी। उसी प्रकार से उसी ईसाई को यहाँ दिया गया है जो यह सर्वे करने के लिए, वह भी निश्चित उसी रूप में होगा। और मैं कोर्ट को धन्यवाद देता हूं कि इस प्रकार से जो सर्वे करने का आदेश पारित किया है उससे स्पष्ट हो जाएगा कि यह मंदिर का जो स्वरूप है जिस पर लोग आपत्ति करते हैं वो स्पष्ट हो जाएगा।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
For more of this, let's go across to our guests. With us, Ishara Trivedi, spokesperson of the BJP, Shriraj Nair, spokesperson of the VHP, Rahul Ishwar, activist, joins us. Harishankar Jain, lawyer, is with us. He's, of course, been a petitioner in this case. Syed Hastul Haq, advocate and social activist, is also with us. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, the leader of the Congress party, is with us, as is Abdul Razak Khan, member of the Karnataka Waqf Board. Let me start first and foremost with Harishankar Jain, a senior lawyer, senior advocate in the Supreme Court, who also has played a very active role as far as the Gyanvapi case is concerned, and also want to involve Syed Hastul Haq at this more point of time, advocate and social activist. Harishankar Jain, do you see this as a significant judgment, a landmark judgment? Of course, the Muslim side has said that they will be challenging this in a higher court. But nevertheless, what has been ordered at the moment, do you see this as a very, very important step? Because in the context of the Ram Janmabhoomi verdict, certainly this would seem like a very important factor which could be considered at a later stage, this ASI report.
Yes, it is correct that it is a stone in the journey for construction of a glorious temple where wrongly or illegally a mosque was constructed by Aurangzeb after demolishing a Hindu temple. After survey, it will be discovered as to how and what manner the temple was demolished, what are the remains of the temple, and foremost thing is that you will find at least 2 or 3 Shivlingas that will found, including the Shivling which lies beneath the main dome, that is the Adi Vishwaswar Shivling. You will find. Truth will come out. And it will prove the case of Hindus it is proved the case, are devotees of Lord Shiva to the extent that we were worshipping in a glorious temple and these were demolished. The question will be whether after demolishing a Hindu temple, any mosque can be constructed, and if any construction has been constructed, whether it is mosque, because Hindu law says that the one property vested in the deity, that will continue to the deity's property forever.
Okay.
Here, property is vested in the deity.
Right.
That will come out.
Right.
The western wall is still crying. That see, and that wall, which was the earlier temple.
Okay,
There
okay.
A number of artifacts in the
That's been
western
mentioned.
wall.
That's been mentioned through the course of this entire case. And in fact, let me take that argument across to Syed Hasnul Haq. If I can just come in there, Harishankar Jain. Syed Hasnul Haq, argument Hindu side का ये है, कई सारे artificial walls हैं, उन सब की सर्वे होने की जरूरत है. कई सारे पिलर्स हैं जो हमने देखा था, एडवोकेट की रिपोर्ट आई थी पिछले साल मई में. उन सब के बेसिस पे, उन सब के आधार पे उनका कहना है कि एक कानूनी प्रक्रिया के द्वारा अपने अधिकारों का और एक हिस्टोरिकल रॉन्ग को सही करने का ये एक मौका है. ये कहना है हिंदू पक्ष का. क्या कहेंगे आप उन्हें?
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका, आपके न्यूज चैनल का. मैं कुछ कहूं उससे पहले कहूंगा मैं, ज्ञानवापी तो एक बहाना है. ज्ञानवापी तो एक बहाना है हिंदू मुस्लिम कर देश की एकता, अखंडता और हिंदू मुस्लिम भाईचारगी को आगे. देखिए, सबसे पहले मैं कहना चाहूंगा, प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट 1909 को समझने की आवश्यकता है सबको. जज साहब किस तरीके से क्या कर रहे हैं मेरे समझ से परे है. जब एक पार्लियामेंट में अगर कोई कानून पास होता है, उसको हाई कोर्ट जितने भी हिंदुस्तान के हैं या सुप्रीम कोर्ट, उस पर जो हस्तक्षेप कर सकती है. लेकिन जिस तरीके से लोअर जुडिशरी पे कर रही है, मेरे समझ से परे है ये चीज. आपको कहा गया कि भाई हिंदुस्तान के अंदर अलग अलग है, मैं भी हिंदुस्तान का हूं, अलग अलग मैं मिथिलांचल का रहने वाला हूं. तो मिथिलांचल में कई ऐसे मंदिर है और मस्जिद है, उन पे ऐसे चीजें बनी हुई है जिसपे हिंदू प्रतीक है, मुस्लिम प्रतीक है, अलग अलग प्रतीक बने हुए हैं. ठीक है, तो इससे हम किसी धर्म को जोड़ने की बात कर रहे हैं. और हमारे एक लॉयर साहब बैठे हुए थे, वो बात कर रहे थे, तो औरंगजेब ने इस चीज को नहीं बनाई. इतिहास अगर पढ़ते तो इस चीज को समझ में आता. अकबर की दीन इलाही अकबर ने जब बनाया था, तो इस जो है क्या नाम है ज्ञानवापी का नींव रखी गई थी. अकबर के दीन इलाही अकबर ने रखा था, किया था. लेकिन मैं इस चीज पे आप कहिए
सईद साहब, मैं बस तीन पैराग्राफ कोट करना चाहूंगा. आप कह रहे हैं कि हिस्टोरिकली इसमें औरंगजेब का कोई हस्तक्षेप नहीं है. There are three things I just want to read out here for the benefit of our viewers, and this is what our research team has brought out, and this has been quoted many a time. The 1965 Varanasi Gazetteer has noticed that on April 1669, Aurangzeb issued orders to the provincial governor for the demolition of Hindu temples and schools, which the Faujdar of Varanasi carried out, pulling down a number of temples in the city, including those of Vishwanath and Bindu Madhav. A mosque was built on the side of each of two high minarets being built on one. There is also the Gazette, which has specifically mentioned this, and there is the historian Will Durant in his book Story of Civilization specifically says Aurangzeb cared for nothing for art, destroyed its heathen monuments with coarse bigotry, fought through a reign of half a century to eradicate from India almost all religions but his own. There is a third source that I want to quote. This is the Masir-e-Alamgiri, and it specifically mentions that it was reported that according to the emperor's command, his officers had demolished the temple of Vishwanath at Kashi. Now, these are aspects that are repeatedly quoted by the Hindu side, and therefore, Syed Hasnul Haq ji, आपसे सवाल ये है कि आप जब हिस्टोरिकली इसको काउंटर करते हैं, तो ये भी फैक्ट्स रखे जा रहे हैं हिंदू पक्ष की तरफ से.
देखिए, मेरा मुद्दा, मैं कभी किसी धर्म के खिलाफ नहीं रहता. मेरे जितने भी दोस्त थे सब नॉन मुस्लिम हिंदू ही हैं. तो सबसे पहले मैं कहूं कि किसने क्या तोड़ा और किसने क्या किया, बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसे उगोगी तो बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसे निकलेगी. मेरा सीधे सीधे मानना यह है कि आज देश में हिंदू मुस्लिम की बातें करके, ये तो आप है 1992 में भी कहा था बाबरी तो झांकी है, काशी मथुरा बाकी है. आप सीधे डायरेक्ट कह रहे हैं इस चीज को. आपको अगर तोड़ना है 1991 को, आपकी पार्लियामेंट में आपकी सरकार है, आप पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ है, वहां बैठे हुए, अपना जो है प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट 1991 को, उसको खत्म कर दीजिए. आप ये कानून जो आया हुआ है उसको खत्म कर दीजिए. आप इसको फिर जिस तरीके से करना चाहते हैं आप कीजिए, उसको आगे बढ़िए.
हरिशंकर जैन, प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट को खत्म करना चाहिए पार्लियामेंट में. अगर इस प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट के होते हुए इस तरह की जजमेंट नहीं आ सकती, इट इज फाउल ऑफ द लॉ. दिस इज व्हाट मिस्टर सईद हसनुल हक इज सेइंग. प्लीज रिस्पोंड टू हिम.
देखिए, my friend don't have full knowledge about the case. I want to refer the judgment dated 31st May 2023 in the plea that the case cannot proceed and barred under Place of Worship Act that has been rejected by the High Court. That has been rejected by the High Court. Against that, they filed SLP in the Supreme Court. What they are saying, they don't know that point has been rejected by the High Court and that has not been set aside.
Okay.
This is rejected and the High Court endorsed that finding. The question is that law says, even Place of Worship Act says that religious character of the premises that has to be defined.
Okay.
That has to be determined.
Okay.
If there is a shivling, it is found that there are number of places of Hindu worship, then how the religious character of will be a mosque? Simply because you recite namaz. You recite namaz, offer namaz at airport also.
Okay.
That will become mosque. To reciting namaz, offering namaz at a particular place, even long years, will not convert the premises as mosque.
Okay, respond to that.
This is fundamental law.
Mr. Haq, respond.
And High Court
Respond to us
rejected
again.
that.
देखिए हमारे काबिल बड़े बुजुर्ग हैं हमारी, इनके मुकर करते हैं, हमें साथी हो गए थे। लेकिन आप देखिए, आप है जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जब ऑर्डर आया था, माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय, हम भी कदर करते हैं उसकी और आप भी करते हैं, तो जब ये आया था बाबरी मस्जिद पे, तो उन्होंने कहा था प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट के हिसाब से मैं उसको साइड में रख के हमारे हिंदू भाइयों की मैं आस्था की कदर करते हुए इसको मैं जजमेंट दे रहा हूं और इसके मंदिर यहाँ पे बनवाया जा रहा है। वहां भी इसको कोर्ट है, आप अगर पढ़ेंगे, अगर है हरिशंकर ही
नहीं,
आप उसको आप 2003 के कोर्ट कर रहे हैं। प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट को लोअर जुडिशरी चैलेंज नहीं कर सकती है, ठीक है। आप अगर बैठेंगे, अगर आप काबिल आदमी अगर है प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप का अगर कोई चैलेंज करता है, उस पर कानूनी कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए उसको। अगर है, मैं सीधी बात पे आप बैठिए, आप मेरे साथ डिबेट कीजिए, मैं आपके साथ डिबेट करूंगा आपको बैठ के।
आप क्या कह रहे हैं? जज पे कानूनी कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, क्या कह रहे हैं आप?
बिल्कुल
जज पे कानूनी कार्रवाई
जो भी अगर है इस चीज
सर, I mean, you can have a different perspective, but please don't come on a show and say judges should be prosecuted under law. क्या कह रहे हैं आप? तो
इसी वजह से अभी एक जज ने जो है जजमेंट दिया था गुजरात में, उनके जो है उनके प्रमोशन को रोक दिया सुप्रीम कोर्ट।
सर आप हाई कोर्ट जाइए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाइए, चैलेंज करिए जजमेंट को। कम ऑन, इसमें हर चीज में आप पॉलिटिकल मोटिव मत देखिए प्लीज। You're entitled to your free speech and your views. I'm not going to take that away from you, Mr. Haq. लेकिन आप यहाँ पे आके एट्रीब्यूट जजेस को मत करिए कुछ मोटिव्स। Let's not go down that road. अगर आपके कुछ सवाल हैं, certainly that can be challenged. It can be addressed at a higher court. Let's not go down that road for the moment. Let me quickly bring in some of our other panelists. Rahul Ishwar is nodding his head. Rahul Ishwar, the questions that are being raised, of course, are multifold. The question that has been raised, of course, is of Places of Worship Act. Harishankar Jain has given his view. He says that it is not foul of that and that courts have adjudicated. But yes, there will be a problem because the Places of Worship Act has a specific exemption only for the dispute in Ayodhya. So how is that going to be overcome?
Two submissions. First of all, it's a settled principle in law that we can criticize the judgment, not the judges. So I hope anybody from this side or that side will refrain from abusing the judges. Second, yes, I totally agree with Syed Saab regarding the Hindu-Muslim brotherhood and unity. But there are some issues we need to talk, not only from now, from decades and centuries on. Somnath was an issue which was settled during Mahatma Gandhi's time, the rebuilding of Somnath, Ayodhya, Kashi, Mathura. These are sensitive issues. We cannot brush under the carpet. Yes, we shouldn't be confrontational. There should be Hindu-Muslim unity, Bhaichara, all said and done. But these are issues we should not brush under the carpet and hand it over to our next generation. Let us, like mature community, like brotherhood, let us talk these issues rather than a judicial confrontation. We should go for a social reconciliation so that there can be talks. And there has been very mature voices from the right-wing spectrum too who said, let us extend the exception that is given to Ramajanbhoomi Ayodhya, and let us try to settle this issue. This is a very good suggestion that came from people like Subramanian Swamy, who is a very eminent person from the Hindu side. Such mature suggestions can be there. KK Muhammad, who is from the Muslim community, who is a very eminent archaeologist, has also taken very nuanced positions on this. So rather than going in a high-octane way, let us talk to each other and solve these issues.
Okay.
Why keep it pending for our next generation?
Absolutely. I think that's a very pertinent point. Abdul Razak Khan, if there is a legal process underway, if it can be resolved amicably through a court process, then what is the objection? Certainly it can be appealed in a higher court of law. And if there is a legal provision to back it up, certainly that position will be upheld by the courts. Are we now going to challenge the courts in the manner that Mr. Haq is doing? I certainly hope you are not.
Madhav, today's order of the Varanasi Court is definitely not acceptable. We will definitely go ahead, challenge this in the Allahabad High Court and also in the Supreme Court. First of all, I would like to convey this message to the entire nation, but with the kind of judgments coming in, this was just challenged in May, and about 2 months you're going ahead and giving order in just 2 months. I'm saying when there are 4.5 crore cases, pending in the entire judicial system of this country, I am seriously, I fail to understand how is it possible for a district judge to go out, go about and give an order when on 11th July, the Supreme Court has asked the union government to come ahead and give their opinions and views and tell the Supreme Court about the validity of 1991 Places of Worship Act before 31st October of this year. So this district judge does not even wait for the Supreme Court to give out clarity or at least listen and finalize on the 1991 Places of Worship Act, which is the only thing which is, based on these kind of issues. So how can the district judge come out and give an order? This will certainly be challenged. We will definitely get a say. We are confident about it. Secondly, I would like to just add one more submission. I am saying the Muslims would not have anything beneath the ground. We would have just holy books inside the mosque. So what would be there for the Muslims to prove that this land belongs to us? If you just find one diya, that was a medium of light for everybody, for Muslims and Hindus. In those days there were no LED bulbs. They were all dependent on diyas. We would light diyas for light. Okay. So the Hindus would come out and say, "Oh, diya mil gaya, diya mil gaya."
I'm not going into the details of what was found. I'm not going to the details of what was found by the advocate commissioners, but there was certainly more than diyas to my knowledge. But let in fact Sharad Trivedi, spokesperson of BJP, respond to you. Sharad Trivedi, इनका कहना है कि जो दियों की बात की जा रही है. Yeah. You made 2 points. Now let's get the response. Let Sharad Trivedi come in. Sharad Trivedi, the points that he is making is that diyas were found both in Hindu places of worship and Muslim places of worship. There was no electricity then. And he also says that जब matters pending है बड़े कोर्ट के सामने, चाहे Supreme Court हो, चाहे Allahabad High Court हो, how can the district court judge pass this order? Is the question coming from Abdul Razak Khan. Sharad Trivedi.
This place is called Gyanvapi, and Gyanvapi means a well of wisdom. And the second thing is that this place has already been recorded history, and you have also claimed that in 1669, under the orders of Aurangzeb, the place was demolished. The second thing is that under innumerable orders of the Honorable Supreme Court and High Court, they have said that the district court can adjudicate onto the matter on everything other than the Wazu Khana, where the prayers, the washing of hands and feet are done by the Muslim side. And they have been already permitted to perform the namaz there. And the Hindus, there are 4 women who were involved in it, who were given the permission to worship there every year, this Shringar Gauri Puja, and they only claimed that they wanted to do it on a daily basis. Now, under the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court, the lower court, the district court has already taken cognizance of it. Other than Wazu Khana, they have directed the survey of the entire area, whatever it is, whether it was a diya, whether it was a trishul, whether it was a swastika, whatever it was.
Will it not damage the complex?
They are only undertaking a survey. And when the survey comes, then all the entire community on both sides will have a right to examine the evidence with all the best of forensic the sciences which are available to the Archaeological Survey of India and other government agencies. Right. Let that come and let the court decide. And the order of 1991, the Act of 1991, Places of Religious Worship Act, has already been checked in the Supreme Court. So everything is out out in the open. Had they agreed to the Ayodhya problem was a mandir, the things would not have taken that long. It would have been settled amicably out.
You know, I will just say one thing. Abdul Razak Khan. The very fact that there was a survey conducted in May 22 by the Advocate Commissioners, it was a slightly different nature of survey. It was perhaps not done by the ASI as is being done in this case. But of course, the other side, the Hindu side's contention is, what is the problem with a survey? If it can find out some material as to what that structure really is.
Can I reply to that?
Madhav, we have to first understand what's happening around. You know, now 6 months time will be given for this survey. When January comes, there is, inauguration of Ram Mandir. So soon after the inauguration of Ram Mandir, the union government will not have anything to say. They will come out and say that Kashi, Mathura, Baki. So Kashi, they will pick up for this election. First point. Second thing, what you are saying about the survey, let me remind you that Vishnu Shankar Jain was not a court-appointed commissioner. The court should have waited for the court-appointed commissioner to come out and say what they found, what not. Vishnu Shankar.
You want
Jain
to know what the Advocate Commissioner has said? Have you not seen that report?
A private affidavit saying that.
Sir, you don't have the details of that, Mr. Abdul Razak Khan.
First, let me complete. Please understand.
No, who is saying he's a court-appointed commissioner? There was a separate Advocate Commissioner. Why are you confusing issues?
Created when the court itself says that there will be 3 court-appointed commissioners, of which one was withdrawn. So these 2 court-appointed commissioners had to go ahead and give out what was found or what was not found. Vishnu Shankar Jain filed an affidavit based on which the district court today says that Shivling was found. But the Muslim contention is that that was a fountain which was in use for many years. So I am saying, look at the way this is being conducted. This is nothing but ground preparation for 2024 because the BJP.
Okay, it's been done with a political intent. Vishnu Shankar Jain, since your name has been taken, would you like to come in? Mr. Hari Shankar Jain. Mr. Hari Shankar Jain, since the name of Vishnu Shankar Jain has been taken, would you like to respond to him?
Okay, I may tell you what they are saying. It is not concerned, I may clarify. That suit was filed in the 2020. 20. Election in 24. It is no concern with election. Incidentally, it is proceeding going on and election is coming. That is another thing. But suit was filed in 2021.
You please.
From March to August. In 21 it was filed. How do you connect it with election? And second thing, you say Hindu Muslim.
Abdul Razak Khan.
I again
the
say
dates do not coincide with any election.
Hindu Muslim unity.
Ayodhya to jhanki hai, Kashi Mathura.
And now you are shifting our argument. आपका timing का argument, your timing argument has now been demolished by Mr. Jain, and now you are connecting it to what the earlier slogans were.
आपको बतला दो सही कह रहे हैं. He is right. काशी मथुरा नहीं, जितनी मंदिर मुसलमानों ने तोड़ी है, हमको सबको वापस लेना है. I am saying.
Okay. At the moment, sir, Places of Worship Act के foul होगा वो. It will be foul.
आप advocate
It will be foul of that. It will be foul of that. Okay.
शर्म कीजिए थोड़ी सी.
Okay.
थोड़ी सी शर्म कीजिए. इस देश के संविधान पे विश्वास रखिए. इस देश के संविधान पे विश्वास रखिए. जुडिशियल सिस्टम पे विश्वास रखिए. आप एक एडवोकेट होकर ऐसी बात नहीं कर सकते. वापस लीजिए अपनी नीच बात को. वापस लीजिए अपनी नीच बातों को.
Okay. Let me just calm tempers here. Let me just calm tempers. We know what the law of the land is. That's a personal opinion of one of the panelists. And certainly, of course, the law has to prevail. The courts have to educate over it. But let me bring in, yes, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, I'm coming to you, but I have a specific question of a specific point that I want to actually raise. Now, the contention of the petitioner is that there was worship happening of Ma Shringar Gauri right outside the Gyanvapi complex. And that was ended just during Mulayam Singh Yadav's regime. So from 47 till Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav's regime, that worship was on. And therefore, their contention is that Places of Worship Act would not fall foul. This would not be, in a violation of Places of Worship Act in this particular case. How do you respond to that, Kamruzaman Chaudhary?
Madhav, let me just point out to you, whatever your question was, the courts are looking into it and let them look into it. Let me just take you back in memory along with your viewers. On 28th May 2022, I was attending a panel discussion along with one of your colleagues, Navika ji, along with Nupur Sharma of the Bharatiya Janata Party on the same panel. And we all know the rest was history. We all know a girl, a lady, a woman has lost her freedom because of the poisonous and the venomous debates that we had on national television because of a particular issue of Gyanvapi-Mosque. Whether the fountain found was a fountain or a shivling, that was the debate. Now the courts are looking into it. I take strong objection to my learned panelist out here, advocate Mr. Jain out here, when he says, मुसलमानों ने जो मंदिर तोड़ा है उसको हम वापस लेकर रहेंगे.
Mr. Chaudhary, I've already clarified that's his personal view. The law of the land will be decided by courts. Let's not repeat those statements. I have distance from those views. I don't think we need to go down that debate again and again. Let's not try and inflame passions. I have already distanced from it. Please, let's not do this, Mr. Chaudhary. Mr. Chaudhary, I've asked you a specific question. I've asked you a specific question on the worship at the Shringar Gauri deity. Can you please answer and address that question? I have already distanced from the views of Mr. Jain. Let's not repeat it ad nauseum.
I understand, but it's a broader debate. Let me just point to 10 seconds I will take. We as a nation were formed in 1947. From here, how we go ahead, that is our prerogative. All the sides we come together and frame the constitution, we live by the constitution. Neither the Sharia law comes out here, nor the Hindu side's law comes out here. It's the constitution that guides us. What Aurangzeb did is not the responsibility of the present day Muslims to atone for the sins of Aurangzeb or any other Mughal ruler. What they have done out here.
Yeah.
That's what Manmohan Singh said.
That's your view.
The first right of resources should be of the minorities.
That's a contentious view. That's a contentious view. There are many who would not agree with you on this panel. There are many who would not agree with you, Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary. Sriraj Nair's hand is going up.
Why I said this, Madhav, can you just give me another 10 more seconds, please? Very important.
Okay, 20 seconds, complete your point. 20 seconds.
Okay.
So,
the
Madhav,
basic point is that
Mr. Nair, coming to you, 20 seconds, just 20 seconds, yes.
1947, when the Liaquat-Nehru Pact happened, then the Hindus of India, they said that we will be providing security to the Muslims who will be staying back in India. Let them consider this as their motherland.
Okay.
Now, by spreading out such venomous and contentious issues, do you want to disturb that same brotherhood that
Okay. You're disturbing the delicate harmony. Mr. Sriraj Nair, that's the contention of Kamruzaman Chaudhary. Of course, there are many points that I'm sure you would differ with him on. But yes, please respond to him.
Madhav, first of all, we welcome today's decision of the Honorable Court. Madhav, we also have to understand Bharat and the Hindu civilization is one of the oldest civilization in the world. Today, even after large-scale conversion by these barbaric Mughals and Islamic rulers of today's Pakistan, Bangladesh and today's India, still we are more than 15% of the total world population. And we all know Kashi, Mathura and Ayodhya are the most revered place of worship for more than 120 crore Hindus living on this planet. Now Mr. Kamruddin, what he's saying, and he is agreeing to what Manmohan Singh ji has said once upon a time, that the resource of this nation belongs to the Muslims first. Now this is sheer appeasement. And even after losing elections or after election, Congress party is not learning. That is the worst part. And today, if they don't have anything to hide, if they don't have anything to lie, why are they worried about? Let the survey go on. What has shivling to do with in a mosque? What has swastik to do in a mosque? What has lotus to do in a mosque? And all this definitely is going to prove that it was a temple which was demolished, and let us wait for the survey. If they have nothing to hide, they should not worry. Let it go, and we have a law of the law of the land is supreme in this nation.
Okay.
This law of the land gave a fair trial even to Kasab and Afzal Guru. So why are they worried? If they have anything, they can definitely go to the higher courts. They need not worry about it. And we are very sure that in future, the judgment is going to come in our way.
Okay. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, if there's nothing to fear,
we are only asking for Kashi, Mathura.
Yeah, but then there is a problem in law, sir. There is a problem in law. And in fact, I want Kamruzaman Chaudhary to respond to you on that. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, his contention is there's nothing to fear. Why should anyone be scared of a survey? That's his contention. Please respond to him.
Well, Madhav, tonight in your panel, the cat is out of the bag. Two parts of that. One is the Vishwa Hindu Parishad panelist, and another one, my learned senior, Mr. Jain. They have let the cat out of the bag. That is not the question of Kashi and Mathura or Ayodhya. It's a question of seeking revenge for what Aurangzeb did 350 years ago. And it seems that the present Muslims who have stayed back in India
Rather,
who do not
you should
want
have
to
an open
deceive
heart
them.
and you should give up the claim. What
I'm
is
ready.
the Hindu side asking for? Ayodhya, the temple is going to come. It is only Mathura and Kashi. You should have a large heart and give it up.
Come to my house, I will feed you biryani rather than going to an enemy country and have biryani uninvited.
Okay. No, you will, sir, you will call it retribution. The others will call it a historic injustice. There are very different points of view. But I want to end with the BJP spokesperson. We're almost out of time on this debate. Sharad Trivedi, is it time to review the Places of Worship Act? That's a plea coming in repeatedly from several panelists on either side, because that is the biggest legal hurdle. Yes, the Supreme Court is seized of the matter. But of course, if there is a BJP government at the center, there is a BJP government in the state of Uttar Pradesh, then why is it not the correct time to review that Places of Worship Act is a question that many of the panelists are asking, if this is indeed the intent.
The Places of Worship Act is already under challenge in the Supreme Court 30 years back. The moment it was enacted, it was under challenge. So we are waiting for the judgment on that issue and then we'll decide what to do. Here it is only a question of survey. Why is everybody panicking? There is no problem. And I respect Mr. Kamaruddin's statement that the constitution is there and the law is there. But he should tell us that under what law was people in Karnataka given reservation on religious ground. The constitution is for everybody. We should believe in it. So what we should believe in everything.
Hold the caste census first. Mr. BJP, hold the caste census.
So a very important context to it. Sharad Trivedi, Shiraj Nair, Rahul Ishwar, Harishankar Jain, Syed Hastul Haq, Kamruzaman Chaudhary and Abdul Razak Khan, thanks so much for joining us this evening.